In a strange, unexplained decision, the Fifth Circuit has suddenly reversed course, dropping an earlier ruling that suppressors are not protected under the Second Amendment. There was no big announcement, only a single-sentence document and a discovery that the decision has been deleted from the court's website. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. A mysterious thing happened on Tuesday when suddenly, if you tried to access a decision on the United States v. Peterson case, it instead brought up this 404-page not found error. It seems that the same panel who had ruled that suppressors aren't protected under the Second Amendment might be having some second thoughts. It's interesting timing as the Hearing Protection Act has once again been added into the big, beautiful bill, which honestly, I'm going to be real with you, I have some problems with. The pro-gun stuff is great. The crippling national debt and raising the debt ceiling for the millionth time and just telling the money printing machine to go brr is not good and will eventually have catastrophic consequences someday, but I digress. That is not today's topic. Economics. No, seriously, Google the Federal Reserve, one of the worst things this country has ever done. Anyways, before I do get into the rest of today's topic, this video is brought to you with the help of Blackout Coffee Company and their big, beautiful partner roast that benefits some of your favorite gun rights groups, like the Second Amendment Foundation, Firearms Policy Coalition, and Gun Owners of America. The group's doing a lot of the heavy lifting and trying to claw back and retain your rights. So to get a cup of coffee that will keep you awake and not woke, support your rights and this channel, go to blackoutcoffee.com/LibertyDoll, and if it's your first time, you can enjoy 20% off with code LibertyDoll at checkout. So, back in February, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals issued their opinion in U.S. v. Peterson, wherein a man was sentenced for possession of an unregistered suppressor. It all started in the summer of 2022 in the Eastern District of Louisiana when the ATF started watching FFL George Peterson because they're shithawks with nothing better to do. They claimed that he had sold 2 handguns to cops without reporting it to the ATF. They also had an undercover agent go in with a CI, apparently made a show of having the CI hand the agent money, and then the agent asked to buy 2 guns. They said that he didn't report this one to the ATF either. They also claimed that he had said in his license application that he was planning to only sell at gun shows and out of a storage unit, so they also felt that he was violating this and had misrepresented himself and his intentions in his paperwork. So a judge signed off on a warrant and they raided him like they do. During the raid, to my knowledge, they did not find any bad records, but they did find a fuel filter that they said he had turned into a suppressor without the proper paperwork. He was indicted on 1 count of possession of an unregistered suppressor, and he was never charged with anything else. None of these supposed straw purchases and messed up sales that he didn't tell the ATF about. Now, Peterson tried to have it dismissed on Second Amendment and Fourth Amendment grounds. The district court denied his motions, and he ended up entering a guilty plea and getting sentenced to 24 months. He appealed the denial on the motion to dismiss. The Fifth Circuit said, sorry bud, suppressors are not protected under the Second Amendment. They said that for something to be protected, it had to be a firearm all on its own and not only a piece of one. Vanderstock would like to have a chat? Then, in May, the DOJ under Trump weighed in, filing a legal brief in support of suppressors, saying that they help gun owners avoid permanent hearing loss and improve communications in self-defense situations. They noted that it's a matter of responsible gun ownership when hearing protection is probably not available if you're dealing with a home intruder or some other self-defense situation. The DOJ did, however, say that the NFA is constitutional, as it imposes only a modest burden on gun ownership. It also said that the court should uphold Peterson's conviction. So, suppressors are 2A protected, but subject to taxation and registration by the DOJ's opinion, and that's why Peterson is a criminal, because he didn't register the big bad thing. Now, suddenly, we have a document from Tuesday saying the opinion has been withdrawn, and a 404 error on the website. There was no explanation, but it is assumed at this point that they are rethinking their opinion. As the Second Amendment Foundation noted, this is a major development that indicates the court may be reconsidering that incorrect ruling, potentially in response to a letter brief filed in the case by the United States, asserting that suppressors are indeed arms protected by the Second Amendment. I mean, I can't really think of any other explanation other than them reconsidering their opinion. That's what some of the big legal experts think as well, so let's hope that they're right. Now, the only problem here, though, as Cam Edwards notes over at Bearing Arms, is that that doesn't mean it will necessarily be completely in gun owners' favor. They could say, okay, sure, protected under Second Amendment, but the NFA is fine and dandy and good to go. I mean, that's basically what the DOJ brief said. Peterson's attorneys have requested a full hearing and basically said exactly that. Given the circumstances, this is definitely going to be an interesting one to follow. We'll see how this all progresses and if the big beautiful bill gets passed with the language that guts the NFA. Because that would definitely put a wrench in the Fifth Circuit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a short one today. You guys know the drill for all of the Algorand things. Please do them. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there and happy shooting.